Hey out there, Internet. It's me, Joe, here with you for another painting video. This time we're going to make a video for a very special couple who are getting married in just a couple days. So I'm going to make this in their favorite colors. So, first color we're going to start with is some nice Oasis blue. I'm going to give this a nice planet right up here. And we're going to put a planet right here. We're going to go put that planet right there. Just like that. We're going to go one planet right in the corner, just like that. Then we're going to fill this in with that Oasis blue, just like that. Then on top of that, we're going to go with some dark hunter green. Got another little bit of shake. Going to go back in here with some newspaper. We're going to give that a crinkle up real quick. We're going to go ahead and remove some of that green right from this painting. A little bit more right from the top. And a little couple dabs. Like that. Just to spread it out just a little bit. On top of that, I'm going to grab a sponge. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to dab in some gloss grape. Now I just reorganized the workshop here. Of course, when you reorganize something, you probably forget where you put stuff. Thankfully, I actually remember where I put my sponges this time. So, just a regular old sponge. I'm just going to tear a corner right off. Just like that. And into a different bowl, not the one we're using for that planet. I'm going to go ahead, shake up that purple real good. We're just going to go ahead, add some purple right into the bowl right there like that. You select a bit of that sponge. I'm going to dab it right in like this. I'm just going to add some purple. Some spots here. Almost like purple clouds instead of white clouds. Do as much or as little as you want when doing something like this. I'm actually going to do a little bit more than I gave myself. Just dab it right on in there. There's some random spots of purple. Move your sponge around a little bit so that way it's not too patterned. There we go. Just like that. I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I like that. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and give us our shadow. We're going to go with a shadow right here, I think. I think that'll look good. There's a shadow right there, just like that. Just a little bit of shadow right there. Now over here, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and start with this gold paint. We're just going to put the gold right over here, just like that. We're actually going to go all the way down, just like that. Then, with that, we're going to go in with some apple red, right on top of it. Like that. A little piece of newspaper. Just going to go back in on our gold and red. Just going to tap that down a little bit to get the colors to mix a little bit better. Just like that. We're going to let that bit dry before we go too much further with it. So, on the bottom here, we're going to do a little bit more red, right here. Then over here, we're going to do the bottom here, we're going to do a bit of blue right here. And on top of that, we're going to a couple little strands of green, maybe on the outsides and insides like that. And then we're just going to spray, ooh, there we go. Time to clean this one too. So right in the middle here, we're going to go ahead and hit that with some white. That's clear coat. Remember, kids, look at your cans before you use them. There's a matte white right there. Good news, I have another one. Let's go ahead and we're going to put the white right here. Just like that. Put a little streak of white there, streak of white there. And the reason you do that, because we're going to be doing some wave action in here. The reason we do the white in the middle is it kind of creates a glare effect. And then on the very edges, rather than black, we're going to go in there with either navy or midnight blue. So we're going to go in there with some true navy on the edges here. So just some true navy. Come on. There we go. True navy right there. We'll strip it right there. And some true navy right here. So the reason we use a darker color on the edge is to kind of zero in on the focus of the reflection. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth. We're going to swipe back and forth. Now the camera's a bit in the way, so let's see if I can figure out a good way to do this. I'm just going to swipe it, swipe it, swipe it, swipe it. A lot of swiping. I'm going to start back at the top. It's okay if we get up on the top of the other side. What we're going to do over here is something that I haven't done on video yet, and I'm just going to kind of go right in the sides here. Yeah, that's a good way to go. And then we can kind of blend the middle. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's looking okay. And then we go right here, just like that. Everything's blending in pretty nice. I'm just going to get them right back across. There we go. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot, actually. Okay, so we're going to let this all dry and set up a little bit, and then we'll be back for our next step. Okay, now we're back. We gave this a chance to go ahead and get dry. We're going to go ahead on to our next step. Next step right here, we're going to go ahead, we're going to cover our planet with the bowl we started with. Right there. And then I'm going to take a piece of paper. I went ahead and got this prepped off camera. We're just going to cover our little ocean here, just like this. I'm actually going to go ahead and tape that down. I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to go straight across with that painter's tape. You want to make sure this thing stays where we want it. Just like that. There we go. So we're gonna, on the top here, we're gonna go in there with some, what do we want to do? I think we're gonna go in there with some midnight blue. I think that sounds good to me. So we're gonna cover everything, including this over here. You're gonna see what I'm gonna do with that in just a minute. Okay, so we're going to go in there with our white again. I'm just going to spray some right onto my glove. Just give it some flicks here. Alright. Grab a piece of paper to get some of that paint off my fingers. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to do our shine right across the top here. Remember, our shadow's over here. So we're going to come across and over here. Just a little shine right there. Picked up a couple new paints I've never used before. So I picked up one of these. We'll see how that works with this particular paint. This is actually an acrylic spray paint, if I remember correctly. Might not be. But we'll see how it does and see if it works with what we got. So if you're curious, this color is Montana Gold. Is that right? I'll make sure the other one I got didn't say the same thing, huh? Oh, it does. All right. Well, what's the color here? It's that color. It's the one on top here. Yes, Montana Gold is the brand. Anyway. Oh, wait, it's right there. Power Orange. Ooh, fancy. And this other one I picked up is this light azure blue. So, just going to give this some space gas. Oh, I like that. I like the way that works. There's an orange streak there. We're going to go back in with some of that blue we just showed you. Give it a shake. We took our shine away a little bit. That's okay. There we go. We're going to darken that corner back up a little bit with that midnight blue because we got a little overzealous, and that's okay. Just like that. And we're going to grab our white once more. We're going to just do our stars once more on top of these. A little white right on the fingertips. So that way we have a couple different layers of stars going on in this painting. That's not the only new thing I picked up. As always, we are going to go in here with our glitter paint. You know, just a little Rust-Oleum glitter like this. I'm going to pick this one up here. This is another glitter paint. This one is blue in color. We're going to add this up. And we also have some purple. You've seen that one if you've tuned in any of my other episodes. So we're going to go ahead and just some grape glitz there too to add a little bit more. This one's almost done. I did pick up a new one. There we go. Now, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bring out my spatulas. All right. Just a couple spatulas here. We're going to do a little cityscape right up here. So I'm just going to do a little cluster of buildings right over in that red gold section we already did. And we just kind of come in and down. So we're going to do two, maybe three layers. So we're going to go drag and down. Can't get the idea. So this one has a bit of a rough edge. I do have some plastic ones. We'll try using a plastic one and see how that comes out. Yeah, I think the plastic ones will work just fine. So let's try that one more time. And it seems like the paint's getting a little tacky here. So we're going to go back in with our clear coat, just to liven it up a little bit. And just clear coat it right there to make it a little easier on us. Because what the clear coat does is it brings the life back into the paint. So that way, when I line it up like this, it actually cooperates. So there's one building. There's another one. There's another one. So sometimes you have to wipe your spatula off when you're doing this, so that way you don't get these big globs of paint. There's another one right there. Yeah, I'm liking that. Then we're going to go in with this other metal one I've got. This is a bit bigger. We're just going to come over and down. That one's a little bit bigger. I'm going to come over and down, right into the paint, or the painter's tape that I set up. Like that. Just to cover any of those gaps we have in the first section of them. So we got a little bit right on the bottom here. So we're going to come right back on the bottom here. Just paint it right like that. So these are right along the bottom edge here. So I have a little spatula here. Let me go grab that. Another plastic one right there. We're just going to see if we can do anything with these right here. Yeah, we can put a couple little buildings in here, huh? And that'll work just fine. It's not the straightest buildings, but once it's all together, you'll see, it'll come together real nice. Alright, so there's our buildings. I'm going to do a little bit more with this one here. I don't like this glob of paint that's kind of formed. So let's see if we can do anything with that. Yeah, do that. Drag that right out. Drag it right out. Kind of get some randomization of the shape in here. And there we go. So there's a little cityscape that's right on the water here. So we're going to go ahead and remove some of this stuff that we've got going on. We are going to leave that cover on there right there for now. Just going to peel it up from the edges. Now you could wait until this dries. I don't think we need to. Just like that. And there we go. It's coming along real nice here. We're almost done with this piece. So we are going to do a little bit of foreground work here. So again, we're going to go right back in with our midnight blue. Right here on the corners. Just kind of, just like that. Just to bring it together. We do the same thing over here. Just to give it a little bit of extra depth here. Right. So we're going to grab our straight edge and our white paint. Flat white. And we're just going to give ourselves a little bit of a misty edge here. Right there. Doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you're happy with it. There we go. Nice little edge of water there. We'll go back in on those right there for the that midnight blue we just did. My light diffuser, which is actually a tablecloth, is coming off, so we're just going to take that out of the way. Sorry for the glare. I'll try to come up with a more permanent solution for that some other time. There we go. So now we're going to take our bowl again with our black paint. It doesn't have to be black paint. I'm just going to use black paint on this. Right, like that. Then we're going to grab a brush. We're going to paint in the skeletons of some trees. I'm going to do some trees right here. Another one here. Maybe do one more down here. We're going to see if we can sneak another one right down here. That might not be all the way up. Give a little bit of action here, just to kind of give it a skeleton of the tree. Remember, we're going to cover that up with some leaf sort of colors here. We're going to do another one right here. We're going to do another one here. We're going to do another one here. I'm going to do another one down in the bowels of the land here, I guess you could say. Do one more down here. Just like that. Alright, so that's it for that one. Put this here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here with some lighter colors. Not super light, mind you. We're going to use some moss green. We're going to use a little bit of harvest peach. And I think we're going to throw in a little bit of that apple red that we used over here. So we're going to start off with that moss green right there in the bucket, or the bowl rather. And right next to it, we're going to put our peach. That's got a much better pressure than the other one. And then this can of red right here. Add some red. There we go. So we're going to grab another little piece of that sponge we ripped earlier. Just another tear. Just like that. We're going to go ahead, grab a little bit of that red and orange, or yellowy color. We're just going to top it up with some green right there. We're just going to dab ourselves some trees right here on the edge of the water. Right like that. I'm just going to dab those right on in there. Add a little more green to that. We got a little bit of black on that one. We don't want that, but we can make it work. Let's see. If you ever get a color in there you don't like, you can let it dry a little bit and you can cover it up with just about anything. I'm going to add a little bit more of that satin green into this bowl here. So I think these need to be a little bit more green. Just a little bit more. Yeah, just like that. A little bit more of that green right on these here. And a little bit down here. We might let this dry a little bit and we'll add a little bit more at the end. We're going to do the same thing over there with that green and the red and the yellow. So just add some more of that right in here. Grab our satin, or harvest peach, a little tiny blast of red. We're going to grab our, oh, forgot what I was doing there for a sec. One of those days. I'm sure you've all had them. Wow. It was just straight in front of me. There it is. It got turned around, and of course I lost it as soon as that happened. There we go. I'm going to go back in there with this sponge. I'm going to get some of the excess off it on the edge. Got to grab it over here. Bring it over to the right side of the camera. Just dab our trees in here. And the reason I chose these colors, because I don't want them to take away from the planet that we just did, or the little cityscape we got going on here. These are the supporting characters in this piece. These are not the focal point. So they are just here to add a little bit of depth. That's all they're doing here. Okay. So the last thing I want to do is I do want to put some ground clutter in here. I think I'm going to end up undoing this tree here. But with the color we're going to do down here, let's see, what do I want to do? I'm thinking maybe a little bit of just some gloss purple, I think. A pretty good color down there. Along right with that satin green, or that moss green. I think that would be a pretty good combo. Just mix those right in like that. I'll kind of let them meld a little bit. I'll grab another clean piece of that sponge right here. I'm just going to dab it in here. We're just going to dab it in. Oh yeah, oh, I like that. Yeah, I think it's a good mix right there. Yeah, we just undid that little tree. And also, it's bringing out a really nice shade of blue underneath. So I'm actually really liking the way that's looking. So we're actually going to keep it. And that's kind of the fun part about doing this type of thing, is you end up having little, as Bob Ross would call them, happy accidents. You know, you do something and you realize, oh wow, that looks pretty cool. And then you just kind of roll with it. If you ever decide to try doing some of this, never get frustrated. Just keep plugging away. Have fun with it. You can always grab another piece of poster board and give it another go. Alright, time for the reveal. We're going to go ahead and... Oh, good. That's just something that just stuck. That's fine. Alright. It's a moment of truth. We're going to 1, 2, 3, and there we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn the overhead light off. I've got a ring light around the camera, so we'll see how that looks here. How's that looking? Oh yeah, you can see that much better like that. It's really dark for me, but it looks a lot better for you. So we'll keep that like that. Last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a can of clear coat. That shouldn't be an issue because I just used it. We're going to go ahead, we're going to clear coat the whole thing. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. And please hit that subscribe button. I really want to keep making this content for you, and I will. You know, even there's only 10 people watching. I enjoy doing it. I do this a lot, and I'll keep making this content for you. If you want to see something extra, something special, something different, something new, just let me know. I'll try it. I'll try anything. So Lana, Alex, congratulations on your big day. Again, that's coming up Friday. You know, if there's one thing I would ever say, as a piece of advice to someone getting married, never go to bed angry. Always work it out. Then you'll have a happy, happy life together. My wife and I never go to bed angry. We always make sure we work it out before we go to bed. Because sometimes the stresses of life will get to you. Anyway, folks, thanks for joining me. And I hope to see you in the next video. You have a great night. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.